This is what makes me, me. All right, so when you first open it up, you see that I'm mainly British. So this right here is a traditional English breakfast. These can actually be traced back to the 1300s and began with the gentry. This right here is the Church of England, and Anglican is the most common religion in England. This right here is a rainy English day. The climate of Great Britain is temperate and humid with an average of 59 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year, and it rains quite a lot. It's very frequent. Fun facts, the Brits actually invented the speeding ticket, and the first one was given in 1896. This is the longest word, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it. It starts here, goes all the way to there, and is actually the name of a town in Wales. And I think this one's pretty funny. All horses in the UK must possess a passport. So then you flip to this. The next thing that I have in me is a lot of Irish. So this right here is called bangers and mash with onion gravy, which basically is just sausage, mashed potatoes, and an onion gravy, and is often found in a traditional full Irish breakfast. This right here is a typical Irish day. The island of Ireland has an oceanic climate, cool and damp, cloudy and rainy throughout the year, with an average temp of 49.5 degrees Fahrenheit. If you come over here, this is a Roman Catholic church in Ireland. Roman Catholicism is the dominant religion in Ireland, and it has played a significant political and social role in the community since the 12th century. Some fun facts. Halloween traditions, as we know them, began with the Celtic festival of Samhain. In Old Irish, this means summer's end. It features bonfires, terrifying masks, even more terrifying, turn-up lanterns, and amateur dress-ups. Ireland is named after a goddess, and you can see the Northern Lights in Ireland, which I think is really cool. All right, next up we've got the French. So this is called blanquette de veau, which means veal stew. The first recipe for blanquette de veau hails from the 1739 edition of Les Dons de Camus, I'm probably pronouncing that very wrong, and carries a long tradition in France, often being cited as the most popular French dish. This right here is a traditional French day on the northern coast. So France is a large country that has many different climates. On the northern coast, it is oceanic with an average temp being 40 degrees Fahrenheit. This right here is the Notre Dame. Despite Roman Catholicism being the country's largest religion, the country's official motto of liberty, basically this translates into liberty, equality, and fraternity, does not give particular preference to any religion. Some fun facts here. In the city of Paris, there's only one stop sign. France is the most visited country in the world, and more people in Africa actually speak French than people in France do. All right, turn the page. You've got German. So this is a German dish called Rahmschnitzel. Rahmschnitzel is a German meat dish. Rahm means cream in German, and Schnitzel means a cut of meat. This process of cooking dates as far back as the 1st century BC. It's pretty long ago. All right, here is a typical German day in winter. So in most of Germany, the climate is moderately continental, characterized by cold winters with an average daily temp of 32 degrees Fahrenheit and warm summers with maximum temps around 72 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit in July and August. All right, this is a church in Germany. So Germany was once part of the Holy Roman Empire and therefore a Catholic stronghold, although in the centuries to come, it would be at the center of Protestant Reformation. Today, the near majority of Germans do not associate with any religion at all. And some fun facts. The first printed book was in German. Classical music has been widely dominated by German-speaking composers such as Bach, Beethoven, Wagner, and Strauss. The Christmas tree, or the Tannenbaum tradition, came from Germany. All right, if you turn the page, we've got Scandinavian. So Scandinavian actually can mean Denmark, Norway, or Sweden. It's all of those countries combined. So here we have Svenska köttbullar. which again, I'm probably pronouncing extremely wrong, but what it means is Swedish meatballs. So Swedish meatballs is said are actually Turkish, but they were imported 300 years ago by Swedish King Charles the, I want to say 12th. That could be wrong. A cold day in Scandinavia, a cold day in a Scandinavian country. So Scandinavian countries can be either a winter wonderland or balmy summer destinations. Think Iceland being actually pretty moderate and Greenland being extremely cold. All right, so here is an evangelical Lutheran church. So in Scandinavia, Evangelical Lutheran is the most prominent religious group. The Vikings, who inhabited Scandinavia before the spread of Christianity, had their own religious practices as well, called Norse paganism, also known as Norse mythology. Some fun facts here. In 2008, Norway actually knighted a penguin. The penguin's name is Nils Olav, and here he is being knighted. Look at his little patch. I just think that's so fun. Scandinavia is the world's happiest region. The original Legos makers, who are from Denmark, used to make ladders before they started making the toys that kids are obsessed with nowadays. All right, so next I have some Eastern European in me. I used the Russian flag, but I am not specifically from Russia. I am just Eastern European. So here we've got beef stroganoff. Beef stroganoff is a Russian dish of sauteed pieces of beef served in a sauce with smetana. From its origins in mid-19th century Russia, it has become popular around the world, and lots of people have actually modified this dish and kind of made it their own. Here, this is March in Moscow, which is crazy. In general, Russia has a grim climate with many extremes. In the winter months, it is very cold, think Siberia, while in the summer, it is very warm, think the inland parts of Russia. So here, this is Russian Orthodoxy. Religion in Russia is diverse, with Christianity, especially Russian Orthodoxy, being the most widely professed faith, but with significant minorities of non-religious people and adherents of other faiths. And then some fun facts about Eastern European. The tie was actually invented in Croatia. In Ukrainian Kherson, dogs are legally banned from barking. Hungarians managed to get the Nobel Prize in all categories except for the Peace Prize, which I think is pretty funny. All right, and then my last little bit I have some indigenous roots in me. My grandmother's grandma was fully Cherokee. So this is the Cherokee Nation flag. And so this is kind of, obviously the Cherokee people still exist today, but this is more taking a look back in history. So this is like a tribal diet that they would typically eat. A tribal diet commonly consisted of foods that were either gathered, grown, or hunted. The Cherokee mainly resided kind of near the Smoky Mountains. So in the Smoky Mountains where the Cherokee lived, the temperature and climate are typically mild, with average highs of 86 degrees Fahrenheit and average lows of 48 degrees Fahrenheit. It also rains a lot in the month of May. So this is a Cherokee ritual. The Cherokee people are very religious. Their beliefs tend to affect all aspects of their culture, including their relationship with nature, laws, etc. Some fun facts. The Cherokee people believe that plants, animals, rivers, mountains, and other ecological features have spiritual powers. The Cherokee Nation has more than 300,000 tribal members, making it the largest of the 567 federally recognized tribes in the United States. At the time of their removal, the Cherokee had a higher literacy rate than the non-Indigenous Americans. And so now, how does that lead to who I am today? So this is me with my grandma. We are celebrating our birthdays. Our birthdays are like a 1 week apart, and so we were out celebrating our birthdays with our family. I personally was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I moved to Houston, Texas at the age of 12, and then I moved to Tucson, Arizona at the age of 22. I don't know why I put 24. I definitely was 22. My family still lives in Tucson, Arizona, and now I live here in Flagstaff going to NAU. So that's kind of where I've lived and where I've been. And then here's a little bit about me. I am a non-denominational Christian. My favorite food is chicken tikka masala, and I actually made this. I made the naan and everything, and it was amazing. I love to cook. I also love to read, which is why I'm becoming an English teacher. These are a couple of my favorites: Virginia Woolf, To the Lighthouse. And then I love coffee and the aesthetic of coffee shops. I think they're really fun. And sustainability is something I'm super passionate about. So that is how all of this culture from my background and history adds up to who I am. That's what makes me me.